What is up, ladies and gents? I'm Dareyck, and if you haven't heard of me, I'm a long-time Twitch streamer. I've been playing for nearly 5 years, and I've accumulated over 8,000 hours. Within those 8,000 hours, I think I've learned a lot about the game, and hopefully I can relay that information onto you. Throughout this series, I'm going to be teaching you how to position and make basic mechanical moves over being a super flashy player, because I don't think that's necessary. In fact, I know it's not necessary to get to Grand Champion, because I'm there. I've been playing this game since the beginning, and when Grand Champion was first released in Season 2, I was able to obtain it by being a pretty basic player. So, we have our Season 2 Grand Champ tag here, and we've been the Grand Champion ever since. I've also had one season in the RLRS, I've been a substitute for one season, and I played in the ESL tourneys when they were once a thing. So, moving forward, before we even get into the game, let's just go through settings. It's a quick thing to do, but it's going to help your gameplay a lot. I'm not sure how the default settings look anymore, but this is how I use them, and to be quite frank, I think a lot of top players are pretty similar. So you can copy these how you like them, or I'm pretty sure you can Google pro player settings and pick your favorite pro. Can't go wrong. I will say if you're having a little bit of uncomfortability, mix it up a bit. It doesn't have to be perfect, whatever you feel good with. Controls. This is a little bit more intricate. Again, adjust it how you feel. Make sure it feels good. The only thing that I will touch upon is the controller dead zone. I think the lower you can get it, the better. However, you don't want it to go too low that the car just starts drifting on its own. So, moving forward, this is the biggest part of this whole options training. Boosting and power sliding and boosting and air rolling is essential. Do not get stuck in a habit where you can't boost and do either of those. That's the only rule here. It doesn't matter where your keybinds are, just make sure you can boost and power slide and boost and air roll. Because otherwise, it will eventually come back to haunt you. Your interface doesn't really matter here. You know, if you're colorblind like me, check it on, good to go. Video settings, I keep everything low, I keep it simple. The game looks beautiful at high detail, but I want those max frames, and I turn everything off. Higher performance, performance, performance. And the only checkmark that matters here is transparent goalposts, which hopefully is on by default. Audio, chat, self-explanatory. So, without further ado, let's go learn some mechanics. Alright, moving into the mechanics to grind through the gold ranks and the silver ranks. We are on the new account. We're going to be starting in low gold, which is essentially high silver. I think a lot of these players are all pretty similarly skilled. And the two mechanics I want to focus on grinding through this rank is the chip shot, power shot, and just a basic power shot. So I'm going to teach you how to do that real quick. And don't mind the GC. I got a little happy playing threes there, grinding for the balloons during this event, because I want those free potential items with those golden eggs. But anyway, hopping into free play, if you're on console, you're just going to practice rolling the ball towards yourself. You're going to get behind it, and we're going to chip it. And then once we chip it, we're going to go for a basic aerial. Something as easy as that. If you're on console, unfortunately, I think you're going to have to keep practicing it this way. Just keep resetting the ball in the middle and then letting it roll towards you. And just practicing that chip shot into the next little power shot. And you notice how effective that still can be. If you're on PC, however, and you have Bake's mod downloaded, you can just push right on the D-pad and it literally rolls it for you. This happens a lot in gold because players can't really hit that great of shots, so let's capitalize off of it. Let it roll towards you, chip shot, power shot. Practicing this in free play will allow you to get it over both of the defenders on the opposing team, and hopefully I can show that in the clips coming up. The next is just a basic power shot. Head over to All-Star Aerial Training. Don't worry, we're not going up in the air for these. Let these just drop onto the ground, because I notice a lot of players, they get a little happy, and they try and hit the ball something like this, which isn't that great, because you notice how weak that was, when in reality, we can just let the ball float to us. If you're not getting chased down, and you're given the time, just let it bounce once, and then flip into it. Look how nice and easy that was. Very, very simple mechanics, but I promise you people don't utilize them the way they should. So let's get into our first few matches. Let's go. Alright. The first match is on the account. Again, we're starting in gold div 3. Let's see how it goes. Oh. Also, make sure you're queuing the proper region. That might help. So while you're just waiting for these matches, it's probably best just to practice hitting the ball, figuring out how it maneuvers, how it reacts with the wall, learning how it bounces. These are all just tiny things as you're starting fresh with this game that will help you immensely. Free play is a great tool. And again, when these balls are just rolling, we're just getting little chip shots, we're just hitting power shots. These are all things that will help your gameplay throughout this gold rank. And let's see how it goes. First match. We have Joe on our team. We're just going to do a basic kickoff. And we're just going to let Joe, let's see, we're just going to look and watch how players are playing. Joe might want to go for an aerial here. That was actually pretty impressive, Joe. We're not getting too feisty on that. Joe looks like he's doing everything himself. Now it's our turn to attack. We're just going to chill. Looks like a passing play. I'm not too worried about this yet. And now this is when we're going to rotate as fast as possible because it's a wall play. And we all know how dangerous the back wall can be. So we're just going to slowly dribble this. And we get a really lucky 50-50. Let's go. Let's go, Joe. Let's go, Joe. In twos, I like to always cheat up on the ball. If anyone is ever curious as to what cheating means on this, just means creeping up. Here's our first power shot. Let's see how they react to it. There's one little miss. If I hit that harder, it could have just went right over him, right? And now it looks like an open net. But Joe wants to hit it. That's okay. We're not going to get too dangerous with this. We're just going to run back. And we're going to let Joe rotate with the ball. Looks like Joe knows how to do the chip shot, power shot. And now it's our turn to do the chip shot, power shot. As easy as that. 2 chip shot power shots gets us a goal. Nothing too extravagant. Just the exact same thing we practice in free play there. I should have said I got it. I forgot we're in lower rank. Usually left goes at higher rank, but don't let that confuse you. Always communicate with your teammate. We'll say I got it even though this one I don't have to, just to prevent that from happening again. We'll just go get boost here. We'll see if this guy can hit this. And now we're just going to sit behind Joe. Let's see how Joe goes. That's a bit scary. This is too dangerous to creep up because Joe's really close. And why overcommit when Joe can just score everything? First game, pretty good. GG Joe. GG. Getting those balloons. Gotta love it. And we started with a div up. Wonderful. Alright, we're going into game number 2. First one ended in a forfeit. Me and Joe hitting our chip shot power shots. So I was able to showcase how easy the chip shot power shot is to pull off and how effective it actually is to be used. So let's see if we can get some instances where just a nice power shot is really effective against players in this rank. And to be honest, all ranks. Seems like we're getting quite a few aerials out so far. Lots of whiffs already too. And even that right there is an example of a power shot. Sacred. Clutching the save. Okay, we're just going to go for another chip shot power shot here. I kind of messed it up. But we still got a flick on the ball. The idea was there. So we're just going to let this roll. And here's a power shot opportunity. Just let it roll and bang it. Let's see what happens. Almost on target and almost in the net. Just from hitting a power shot. Look at Spooky trying to hit really difficult touches while we're just letting them hit it to us, and we're just power shotting it back to him. Let's be nice and leave the boost for him. Nice try. We have to be careful because he has to rotate, so we're just going to kind of let him roll the ball to us. This is kind of a scary spot to be in. We'll say sorry. We could have probably played better on the back wall, but those are tough sometimes. And our teammate actually says my fault. You like to see that. It's always nice when they're not already just screaming at you for making one mistake. We'll say I got it. It's because we're not too sure. He might have it, so we'll leave it for him. And that's an open net. Oh. Now it's an open net. So on kickoffs here, in 2v2s especially, if the ball rolls to the left or right, it's very a good idea to pay attention to where your teammate is. If your teammate's cheating on that ball, he might want to go for it even quicker. That ball was rolling on our side, and I knew he was going for boost, or I'm hoping he's going for boost if he's in that position. So I'm looking at him again there, just using the ball camera, just toggling, keeping an eye on our teammate. And honestly, from that kickoff position, it allowed us to really allow him to come up and boom the ball at their net. Sorry, cat got my tongue. Oh my goodness. First aerial. Let's see how Spooky handles it. Perfectly. That's very good. So you see this player's kind of in panic. Sacred does his best to get back. I love how much people talk to you at this rank. It's like I'm making friends or something. And we're just going to do a chip shot again. That's more of a power shot, not so much of a chip shot. And now look at their what is saving each other. And this is why I like to cheat up on kickoffs opposed to just sitting in net or going for a boost. Because sometimes you get stuck in a situation like that, and those are pretty tough saves. Oh, he said take the shot pretty late. So don't do that. All right. Easy to do. Just say I got it or take the shot a little bit sooner than that. And now this one, we're just going to chip shot, power shot again. Oh. Nice save. Nice save from that man. Kind of messed up the chip shot. Here we can just bring it to our corner. There's no real danger. I don't really want to play off the walls so much, so we're just going to run away. Let's see how Spooky handles this. And now this is where we can just kind of let it roll, and we can try another power shot. This is scary, so we're just going to run away. Spooky misses, so we're just going to let it roll again. Maybe cut this off. This is where I'd like my teammate to go, so I'm not going to get too aggressive and challenge it with him. And he can get a power shot here. He almost got it. Even right there, I think he could have waited half second later and hit the ball a lot harder. Just got a little bit too hasty on it, that's all. It seems like people are pretty good at getting at least a touch on the wall at this rank, and I don't want to challenge this too aggressively. Again, we're already up goals. There's no real need to challenge that. And now we have another chance to do our, our maneuver. The chip shot, power shot. Close chances though. And we're just going to let him hit it to us again. Slowly challenge him because our teammate needs to rotate. And here's a power shot opportunity. I'm not quite hitting them on target, but we're still putting them in a lot of stressful situations, as you can see. Again, we'll just wait. You can probably just challenge this. This one, we're just waiting again. Here we are, chip shot. Tough one to make. Probably could have scored that. I'm just going to go to the net. This is called a safe rotation. I'll cover that a little bit later in another video. And we're in a weird dribble situation. We'll just drive at him and see what happens. Wasn't too sure. Oh, and we got a bump. And our boy Spooky is just hitting every aerial. Nice shot. Normally, you probably want to try and go for a flick shot there. However, we'll just dribble it at him and see what happens. Put it on our teammate. And GG, game number 2. So that concludes the first 2 ranked games on the gold MMR account. We were able to execute the chip shot, power shot, and general power shots pretty easily. Honestly, it worked out very well. We even saw our teammates pulling off some of the mechanics. Very easy to do, but very effective. As you can see, both games resulted in forfeits, and we weren't doing anything fancy. In fact, we were kind of just letting them hit the ball to us, and we were just chip shotting it and power shotting it back, and we were able to score, I think it was 3 and 4 goals respectively. So that's really good to see. Moving forward, hopefully I'm able to explain a bit more on the decisions that I'm making and a little bit more maneuvering around the field. I wasn't seeing anybody do half flips, which is another mechanic to, position yourself around the field and just move faster. And I wasn't also seeing too many effective aerials. So I'm just going to match the skill level moving forward with this series. I'm not going to do anything that I'm not seeing my opponents or my teammates doing, just to keep it a fair level ground and to show you that you don't need to be too fancy to rank up to platinum. So I'll see you on the next video. If you made it this far, hopefully it wasn't too scuffed. And I do appreciate you hanging out. And hopefully you learned a thing or two. I'll catch you on the next one, boys. Cheers. Peace.